Well, I remember when I was going to Double-A, you know, a lot of the big guys were telling me that, hey, don't be discouraged because you're going there. You know, you can still make the jump. It's, you know, a lot of people have, and they're not scared to do that. That's what I remember Fred Nelson telling me, and, you know, Enos Cabell and Cheo Cruz and all of them. They said, don't worry about it if you go there. So right there I had, like, the mindset of it didn't matter where I went. And for me to go there, I was just knew that if I just do my thing and I do my part and I just work every day and get better and prove to them that I can, you know, play there, I knew I'd get the opportunity. I didn't know it was going to come so quickly because you hear it a lot, and you hear a lot of people saying that, you know, you're just a phone call away, just a phone call away, and you hear a lot of that from the coaches, and you just, you know, you're like, yeah, you've heard that before, but you know, when it came and it was just, you know, a dream come true, and got up there, and it was just, you know, every place I went, it was just a new experience, everything I did, whether it was getting something to eat in the clubhouse or walking out to the field and seeing all the fans or getting to fly in the plane, just everything, just the hotels you stay in. It's just, you know, it was awesome, and it's, you know, it's just a dream come true.
What was the biggest adjustment in terms of on the fields?
I felt the fact that you're in a bigger place, you know, you're in the stadium, and, you know, it's just, you get a fly ball hit to you in the minor leagues, and you have the sky behind you. You get a fly ball hit to you, and you have the crowd behind you as their background. I think that was a big adjustment in the outfield for me. I thought that just getting up to the box and realizing that, okay, I'm facing Roy Halladay right now, but he's just another pitcher, you know? I think I went 1 for 3 off of him. But, like, I think those are the biggest things, is not getting so starstruck, and I'm still learning about that. You know, I still see a good pitcher on the mound, and I mean, I'm a fan of baseball, so I've watched it. You know, I would always rush home and make sure I stayed awake to watch baseball tonight, and so seeing all these guys that you're like, man, that guy was nasty. Now you got to face him. So it's just like that was another huge adjustment, and the fact that you're just playing in front of 30, 40,000, you know, at any given night, and it's just that can get overwhelming as well.
All right, let's talk about what do you remember most about playing at the Joe, Tri-City?
I remember the fans. The fans were really good. I mean, that was my first time ever playing in front of so many fans like that. I remember they had a huge turnout almost every game, and it just made it exciting to go there. That was the first time I ever really felt pressure when I went out on the field, because I came from a D2 school, and it was just a couple, maybe 40, 50 people tops at a game. Then I went to Greenville, and it was, you know, maybe 1,000 here and there, you know, a couple thousand here and there, and then you went to the Joe, and it's just like, dang, it's packed every time. So I think that was, you know, it was always fun there. I remember my first time I got there, I almost got hit by the bunny in the little golf cart. That was fun, and I don't know, it was just a fun place to play. You know, the fans were always into the game, and they made it fun to go to the park.
How about some advice on what to do around Tri-City, if you remember, anywhere to go to eat or to have a good time?
I really didn't go out that much, you know. I stayed really in the hotel, and it was just, you're always just so tired. So, I mean, I really never went out to eat anywhere. I mean, I would go out to eat, but I forgot what the name of that sub place was.
Deli and Brew.
The Deli and Brew. Yeah, that place was good.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on a baseball field?
When I was in college, guy hits a ball on the left field line, and I went and grabbed the ball, and when I grab it, I was coming up to a second because the guy was slow, but my cutoff guys were thrown. They were set up for third, which was the right thing to do. I was just pick up the ball, and I was thinking I was going to get him out at second. But when I grabbed it and I looked and there was nobody at second, my arm was already gone. So I tried to just like go like this with my arm and throw it to third. Well, that was my junior year, and there was a ton of scouts there watching me, and you have the Houston scout and the Royal scout were right there, right down the third base line, and the batting cages were right there, and it sailed out of my hands, and I went right by the Royal scout. I buzzed him, and the guy got an inside the park home run on a freaking ground ball or a line drive to left field. Yeah.
That worked out though, right?
It was funny.
What's the toughest thing about being a pro baseball player?
I guess just, the constant pressure that you have every day to perform. Everything's so performance-based at this level. And if you don't produce, that's the name of the game. You got to produce. It's production. If you don't produce, then they forget about you. And it's what you're doing for me now, not what you did for me. So every day you got to go out and just, you got to promote, you got to perform.
What superstitions do you have?
I have a lot.
One of them.
If I had a good game and I had, let's say, a green polo on that day, I'm wearing the green polo the next day. I'm crazy. They laugh at me. The players laugh at me.
What's your fondest memory as a youth baseball player, Little League or high school or whatever?
High school, I'd have to say my high school because we won back-to-back state championship, and it was just a great team. I mean, we were never the best. I think out of that whole team, we had maybe 3 guys that went D1 out of our back-to-back state championship team. It was the same team next year. Mm-hmm. Only 3 guys went D1. Maybe I think 1 guy got drafted, or 2, including me. But it was just, the team chemistry and just the way we play. We were brothers. We weren't teammates. And I still hang out with half of the guys that I went to high school with, more than I hang out with any of my college friends or anybody. So it was just, I think that was big, and yeah, that's it, really.
What do you do to keep busy on long road trips?
Play on my iPad, watch movies, listen to music, text, play Scramble.
Who do you have on your iPod?
Who do I have on my iPod? I have everybody. I got my sleep music. When I want to go to sleep, I put Bob Marley in, and then I fall asleep with him. Because you got to have something playing because there's so much noise in the bus. You need something. But I like Drake, Lil Wayne. I like kind of all music. I got some Spanish, some reggaeton in there.
What song are you going to be coming up to this year?
I don't know yet. I got my buddy back home that picks them out all for me. He's been my friend since I was in 6th grade. And he's been my best friend, and he's come to he came to almost all my baseball games when I was in high school. He's followed me, comes visits me every year, and he'll give me my stats for the year, what I have to do and why I have to do it, because whoever was there and whoever's record I need to break, and then he gives me the song that I got to come out to. He gives me a choice between like 4 songs. He goes, you got to pick either of these 4.
You pay him at all?
No. He's just my best friend. He's like my brother. I mean, we go way back. I mean, we used to hang out every single day.
What's your most memorable playing moment thus far as an Astro?
I say my first game getting called up. That was just, I never forget that feeling. I mean, getting up to the box and my heart beating, I never felt my heart beat so fast. And just the crowd. I remember when I came up, my first game that I actually played, and K-Rod was on the mound, and it was an 8-8 game. It was an 8-7 game. They were winning in the 8th inning with 2 outs. I'm up with a guy on 2nd and 3rd, and a 2-2 count. And the crowd at Milwaukee just got up, 44,000, sold out. And just started yelling, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm facing K-Rod right now. And that was just crazy too.
What happened in that at bat?
He threw a wild pitch. The run scored, so we tied it up, and then I struck out.
Who's your biggest inspiration and why?
I think it'd have to be like my hitting coaches back home, Paul Casanova and Jackie Hernandez. I mean, they've helped me out since I was like young, and obviously my parents, my dad, my mom, they're my biggest fans. They won't miss a game for anything. They'll be in the car with a laptop on, driving home from work, watching it on their ride home. It's just like, they're crazy. They're fanatics. They won't miss a game.
What is your hidden talent or one thing people don't know about you?
I'm a very good Halo player. I'm really good at Halo, the video game.
Complete the following sentences. The best thing about baseball is?
Best thing about baseball is the competitiveness, is the game. It's coming out every day, and you get to play a game, and if you love it, you love it. And if you don't, I feel bad for you.
What about the worst part of baseball?
The worst part of baseball is the frustration that you get. It is a game of failure, after all. You know, it's why a lot of people can't play it. A lot of people have the talent, but just the mind is just, you know, you train so hard to be successful, and you train so hard mentally and physically to be successful, but you're still going to fail. It doesn't matter. I mean, no one's that good that they're going to succeed all the time. So you're still going to fail. So I think that's the hardest part about the game is being mentally strong and not getting frustrated as easily, because it's a very frustrating game sometimes.
You think that's the most important thing for young baseball players to know?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I can't, you know, it's a lot of guys have the best talent, and you see guys with the most talent and they won't make it just because they can't handle it. And you see other guys that don't have that much talent, but they have a good head on their shoulder, they understand the game, and they just go out and play it. But it's just, you know, it's if you fail 70% of the time and you succeed 30, you're a Hall of Famer. You're great. So it's just like, you know, what do you expect? It's just a tough game.
All right, a couple more. Who's your favorite MLB team?
That's a tough question.
Growing up, who was your favorite Major League?
Growing up, the Marlins from Miami, you know. It's just hometown team. Used to, you know, it's funny actually playing with Levon right now, where in '97 I used to tell him when he came out with "I love you, Miami."
That must be cool playing
Yeah,
with
it's
him
cool.
now.
It's cool because I talk to him now all the time and everything, and he's a good guy.
What's the best baseball game you've been to as a fan? What Major League best game you've been to?
Game 7 in '97 when Edgar Renteria hit the walk-off single up the middle. I'll never forget it. I was sitting next to God, way up in the corner. And as soon as I got the hit, my dad gives me $100 and he goes, "Go get a line at the souvenir shop right now." And I just ran, phew, and I ran there, and I was like one of the first ones. I didn't even get to see the celebration. But it was fun. It was crazy. I've never been in such a loud stadium.